Iraqis on the ground.
This morning, major breaking news. The most wanted man in Iraq, Abu Musab al-Zarqawi, the terrorist and merchant of death, is dead.
This violent man will never murder again.
Who will get the $25 million bounty on his head? How did they track him and kill him? And what do the families of his beheaded victims say this morning? Are American troops safer? Will they come home any sooner?
From Times Square, this is Good Morning America with Charles Gibson, Diane Sawyer, and Robin Roberts.
And good morning to all of you. It is Thursday, June 8th, 2006, and Robin and I are greeting you this morning live on the West Coast, a special edition. Charlie is off today. He'll be back on World News tonight because you are waking up to big news, big quarry. Yes, indeed. Abu Zawahiri has been killed. He has been spotted and killed this morning.
And we're finding out more and more information and new pictures coming in, such as this, proof that he is indeed dead. We heard from the president earlier this morning as well, but he is dead. And this is the footage from the air strike.
That was inside the American fighter jet cockpit as they were dropping the two bombs, after having tracked him for 3 days and apparently tracing him in part through a spiritual advisor who was also killed at the scene. Now, you will know that one of his calling cards was those grotesque beheadings. And you can see the videos. There he is, standing, reading a declaration. He is standing behind Nick Berg. And Nick Berg is just one of the Americans that he is believed personally to have beheaded after he delivered those videos. The other was Eugene Armstrong, and as we said earlier, we'll have reactions from the families this morning of those men, and one of the brothers saying that he should go to hell. We have all of the angles. We're going to be covering the story this morning from Baghdad to the White House, where, as Robin said, the president has spoken just a short time ago. But let's begin with ABC's Miguel Marquez. He is in Baghdad with all the latest details of how they tracked him down. Miguel?
Diane, just a stunning day here in Iraq, a major victory for the U.S., as you say. Zarqawi was killed because his own network helped turn him in.
اليوم لقد تم القضاء على الزرقاوي.
Terminated. That's how Iraq's prime minister announced Zarqawi's death to the world. A senior U.S. military official says during the afternoon on Wednesday, U.S. forces tracked Zarqawi's spiritual advisor, Sheikh Abd al-Rahman, for 2 hours as he headed to a meeting with Zarqawi. His final destination, a safe house in a rural town 40 miles north of Baghdad. At 6:15 last night, the U.S. dropped 2 500-pound bombs on the house. Inside was Zarqawi, Rahman, and 6 others. All were killed, though Iraqi sources tell ABC News Zarqawi survived the bombing and died later. He was identified through fingerprinting, facial recognition, and known scars. It was the 101st Airborne and Iraqi police that moved on the target after the bombing. For U.S. forces, it was a major victory.
Al-Zarqawi's death is a significant blow to Al-Qaeda and another step toward defeating terrorism in Iraq.
U.S. officials say it was tips and intelligence from Zarqawi's own network that led to the raid. Jordanian officials say they too provided information. Zarqawi has eluded capture for years and has taken responsibility for suicide bombings that killed thousands of Iraqis and gruesome videotape beheadings like that of American Nick Berg.
Diane, and though Zarqawi is dead, the violence here hasn't stopped. A car bomb ripped through a central market in Baghdad, killing at least 19 people. Diane?
That is a reality check. We're going to go now to ABC's chief White House correspondent, Martha Raddatz. By the way, it was Martha who broke this story this morning in the early hours. Martha, good to talk to you this morning. So tell me what the latest you've learned.
Well, what we've learned, Diane, is a little bit more about when the president learned about this. He first heard about it yesterday afternoon, about 3:20. They weren't sure it was Zarqawi yet. It was confirmed at 9:20 last night, and the president spoke about this just a short time ago in the Rose Garden.
He worked to divide Iraqis and incite civil war. Now Zarqawi has met his end. And this violent man will never murder again.
The president's speech today was all a part of a plan that had been put in place quite some time ago, Diane, a plan for the president to speak, briefings from Baghdad, and that very important picture so they can prove to people that Zarqawi is in fact dead.
Yes, and we had been told, as we said earlier, that he was wearing the same clothes as in one of those videos. But Martha, I'm trying to get a sense here what this says about the Iraqi forces, because we know the Iraqi forces were part of this. Were they an instrumental part of this? Does this say something about the progress of their ability to track down people?
Well, you can certainly rely on them for intelligence in these kind of matters, and that's one thing the American forces will tell you. No one can gather intelligence in these towns, in these areas like the Iraqis. As for going in with the special forces, I'm sure they were in the area, but they did not take the lead in this operation, but may have provided very valuable intelligence.
All right, thanks to you, Martha. We'll check back in. Robin?
Okay, Diane, we're going to now look at the man himself, Zarqawi, a man linked to just about every major bombing in Iraq. And joining us is ABC News Chief Investigative Correspondent Brian Ross. Brian?
Good morning, Robin. A U.S. military special forces group known as Task Force 145 had been tracking Zarqawi for more than 2 years. And step by step, they have picked off and infiltrated his top leadership. Abu Musab al-Zarqawi was the public face of the Iraqi insurgency. Blamed for dozens of attacks and thousands of deaths, he was Iraq's most wanted man with a $25 million bounty on his head. A one-time Jordanian street thug, Zarqawi was a master of disguise, able to stay one step ahead of U.S. forces, in Western clothes, in glasses, with a beard, without a beard. But he was best known for his brutality. He was the man in the mask who beheaded American Nick Berg in April 2004. One of many executions that Zarqawi made sure was seen around the world.
It was designed to catapult Zarqawi into the front ranks of those adversaries of the United States that are seen as the most consequential. He's learning from the best from bin Laden.
U.S. officials say his influence stretched far beyond Iraq to cells in at least 7 other countries. Task Force 145 narrowly missed capturing Zarqawi in April of this year in a raid about 20 miles southwest of Baghdad. Just 6 weeks ago, Zarqawi appeared without a mask for the first time on one of his videotapes. He was shown firing an automatic weapon in the desert and then turning toward the camera with his message. I swear to God, he says, America will be defeated in Iraq, God willing, and it will leave the land of the 2 rivers, he continues, defeated, humiliated, exhausted, and disgraced. But now he's dead, and authorities are telling us, ironically, the videotape actually provided some clues to his whereabouts, Robert.
And you've been on the website. You've seen what his website is now saying about his death?
They announced the good news of the martyrdom, and they say his death is their life, and they will continue their jihad.
And could you tell us more about the task force?
Yes, Task Force 145 is a group that also was assigned to go after Osama bin Laden. These are the most special of the special forces. Some of them had been taken out of Afghanistan to find Zarqawi. Now that that mission is accomplished, we can expect more intensity in the search for bin Laden.
I'm sure we will. All right, Brian, thank you.
We've wanted to hear all morning long from this man. He is the former White House terror czar and ABC News consultant. You know him well from our program. Richard Clark joins us from Washington. A personal note first, if you would. Did you cheer when you got the news?
I was very happy when I got the news. I'd like to hear it about some other people like bin Laden and his deputy. But we've been hunting this man for 7 years. And it's very good news that he's put out of business. He's killed a lot of people.
But we are looking for reality checks this morning. How much safer is Iraq because of this? And does it mean that the war will end sooner?
No, unfortunately it doesn't. To put it in perspective, Diane, this man, whose real name is Ahmed Khalela, he was in charge of several hundred people in Iraq. And that group was known as Al-Qaeda in Iraq. The larger insurgency in Iraq, the people who are killing Americans and killing other Iraqis, is estimated at between 20,000 and 40,000. So even if Al-Qaeda in Iraq disappeared, it would be a small dent in the insurgency, and it's not going to disappear. Someone else is going to take over. This is an important psychological and symbolic victory today, but unfortunately it's not going to hasten the day when our men and women can come home.
As you indicated, the attacks on Americans tend to be those IEDs these days, which are not the work of Zarqawi by and large.
Well, I think that's right. Zarqawi's claim to fame was the large truck bomb. He blew up the UN headquarters. He blew up the Red Cross headquarters. He's from Jordan, and he tried several times to do major attacks there. Last year, he blew up 3 hotels in Jordan. So these big publicity, big signature attacks, Zarqawi is sort of, in a way, He was a good media star. He knew how to manipulate the media through his websites and through the way he designed his attacks, and the media around the world ate it up. He was the only name that we knew. You talk about the Iraqi insurgency, what name comes to mind? It was only him. But there are 40,000 others out there.
Yeah, perverse kind of marketing. We heard Brian talking about the website, calling him a martyr, good news that he's in heaven. Is he the kind of martyr in the view of the radical community that could incite even more and redouble efforts to attack Americans?
No, I don't think so. He's not the sort of spiritual, ideological leader that bin Laden is. And we've said now for several years that bin Laden is caught, he may even, or killed, he may even be more valuable to the movement as a martyr. But not this guy. This guy, Ahmed Khalela, was a street thug who had been arrested for rape at age 18, who had been personally involved in beheading. His personal involvement in beheading offended even bin Laden. He's not the spiritual leader kind of guy.
All right, again, his terrorist name, Abu Zarqawi. Thanks again, Dick. Okay, Robin.
All right, Diane, we're going to turn now to ABC's chief Washington correspondent, George Stephanopoulos, for a look at the political implications of Zarqawi's death. And he joins us from Washington. George, you heard the president when he spoke live from the White House earlier this morning. What did you take away from his remarks this morning?
A couple of things, Robin. First of all, you saw the president, even though he congratulated the American troops, he was appropriately cautious, reminding Americans that the violence is not going to stop. It is going to continue. The White House knows that they have to steel Americans for more violence, even though they hope that this is the break they've been praying for so long. They believe, somewhat contrary to what Richard Clark is saying, that operationally Abu Musab al-Zarqawi was responsible for more American deaths day in and day out than even Osama bin Laden, and that this could have a military impact. Even more important, they think this is a real booster shot to the new Iraqi government, which also announced a new defense minister and national security ministers today, and they hope this will be what they call a circuit breaker here at home in the United States, that it will be an opportunity for Americans to look at this conflict with new eyes, to start to look for some progress. But of course they know if the violence doesn't stop, American attitudes aren't going to change.
And the violence has continued so far in Iraq today. We all know about the president's approval rating, the fact that it has been lowered in the last few months, and many Americans who disapprove of his performance cite the war in Iraq as the main reason for that. Do you think today's news will help him in any regard?
Well, certainly they're going to try to drive that home, and you're absolutely right. Iraq has been the #1 anchor on the president's approval ratings. What they're hoping for now, and the president has announced a meeting with all of his cabinet at Camp David on Monday to talk about the path going forward in Iraq, is that the conditions will start to improve, that the Iraqi government will be able to get a handle on the security situation, particularly as the military announced also this morning, they were able to raid 17 other sites connected to Zarqawi this morning and gotten what they've called a treasure trove of information, and that all of that will add up to the possibility of drawdowns, troop drawdowns by the end of this year, but no one's making any kind of promises like that yet.
Yeah, talk a little bit more about that, because we heard Dick Clark say that the possibility of that happening, and that's on the minds of so many Americans right now. When will U.S. troops be able to pull out and come back this way? So you still think we're away from that?
Well, that had been the hope for some time. The military had been hoping to reduce troop levels by about 30 or 40,000 by the end of this year, but because the violence had increased so much in the month of May, they actually had to put those plans on hold and actually increase the troops just a little bit. If the Iraqi government is able to get control, now that they have a defense minister and an interior minister in place, if they're able to stabilize the situation, there is some hope, but again, no promises that those earlier plans can be put back on the shelf.
George, thank you very much. George Stephanopoulos in Washington this morning. We appreciate it. It is now 14 minutes after the hour. Bill Weir has the morning's other news headlines. Bill?
Thanks, Robin. Good morning, everyone. We also have breaking news out of Iran this morning. The Iranian president has announced that his country is now ready to engage in nuclear talks. ABC's Jonathan Karl has more from the Pentagon. Jonathan.
Bill, this may be the most conciliatory message we have heard from Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad ever. It came in a speech before several thousand people just outside of Tehran, and he first started by warning that the international community cannot threaten Iran and negotiate at the same time, but then he said this: on behalf of the Iranian nation, we are for talks about mutual concerns to resolve misunderstandings in the international arena. Now, the United States, Russia, China, and Europe have told Iran that they will not do these negotiations unless Iran agrees to immediately suspend its nuclear program. And there is absolutely no indication yet that Iran has agreed to do that. But with these words from the Iranian president, we are now closer to U.S.-Iran talks on the nuclear issue than we have been in a long, long time. And if these talks actually happen, it will be the first serious talks between the U.S. and Iran since that hostage crisis back in 1979.
An encouraging about-face from Tehran. John Carl, thanks very much. Back in this country, South Carolina to be particular, a confession from the convicted sex offender accused of strangling a Clemson University student with her bikini. Police say Jerry Inman also admitted to sexual assaults in 2 other states. When asked why he killed Tiffany Sowers, authorities say Inman told him he was, quote, a sick animal. Wild weather has battered the Northeast with wicked rain. Flash flooding in Rhode Island turned roads into rivers. 5 inches of rain fell in a short period of time. Rivers still above flood level, and more rain on the way. Health news now. An FDA action expected today to approve a vaccine in the fight against cervical cancer. The vaccine, called Gardasil, protects against HPV, the human papillomavirus. Causes about 70% of cervical cancer cases, which kill almost 4,000 women in this country every year. And news this morning of a healthier French fry. Wendy's is switching to an oil without artery-clogging trans fat for its fries and breaded chicken, the first chain to do so. They say it won't change the taste, and it's significant because Wendy's sells about 560 million pounds of French fries every year. Nutritionists are cheering. That news, that's your news at 9:16. Let's go back to cheering Robin and Diana.
Just don't mess with Mickey D's fries. Just do not.
How many of those fries did I eat? How many thousand pounds?
I tell you, Mike Bars is a lucky man this morning. I used to live in Nashville, Tennessee, and something back in the day that we used to call Fan Fest, where all the country music stars come out and they greet with their fans. It's something else. And that's where Mike is at the CMA Music Festival this morning. Mike?
The CMA Music Festival right here in downtown Nashville, and the crowd is great. Lots of people out early this morning. We'll get to that much later and talk to some of the artists as well. First, want to get you caught up on the weather, and Bill mentioned that rain in the Northeast. It will continue up there. More flash flood warnings in effect. Expect strong thunderstorms through the Carolinas, hail, gusty winds. Much of the Rockies will see some storms as well, with possible flooding there as well. Dry weather for the Midwest and Deep South, including right here in Nashville. Good news for the folks taking in the concerts. That's a brief look at the national picture. Here's what's happening near you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Julia Radlick. We have a very thick marine layer across the western half of the Cascades this morning. The onshore flow from the ocean is very strong, so we're not expecting a whole lot of clearing today. I think most of this cloud cover is going to stick with us. So we're looking at a high of about 66 degrees today. Perhaps a few sun breaks this afternoon, but it will be cloudier than it was yesterday. Overnight tonight, the clouds return, and by tomorrow morning, we may see a little drizzle here and there. But the weekend ahead is looking very nice with temperatures in the mid to upper 70s.
And we will have much more here in Nashville, CMA Music Festival. Back to you guys in New York.
All right, Mike, thanks very much. We want to turn to the top story of the morning, if not the year. And there's, beyond the political here, there's also the personal angle of Zarqawi's death that has special significance for the family members of his victims, among them British engineer Ken Bigley. Zarqawi's group captured Bigley in 2004, held him for weeks, and later beheaded him. This morning, Paul Bigley's his brother, Paul, had this to say about Zarqawi.
Initial reaction is the world has rid itself of a very evil person. Second reaction, I think, being a Christian, one shouldn't be very happy about somebody's death. But in this particular case, quite frankly, he can rot in hell. That's where the man is.
Another of Zarqawi's victims, American Nick Berg. Who can forget the most chilling of videotapes? You can see Zarqawi standing behind Nick Berg, reading the statement, then pulling the knife. Zarqawi believed to have personally beheaded him, and shortly after Nick's death, we spoke to his friends and family.
Nick, to know him was to love him. He was the most amazing man we ever met. He represented, I think, everything that makes America great. I cannot think of what the world would be like now without him.
I don't think anybody who knew Nick Berg could possibly dislike him. He just was an amazing guy and had just a warm personality and always had a joke to tell. And
I wonder, as you watch this now happening in repetition, if there are feelings of a desire in you for revenge.
I would like these people to be stopped. I would like them to be arrested. I would like them to receive justice. I would not want to see any of them killed. And I don't want revenge. I don't want to personally attack those people.
We actually spoke to Nick Berg's father this morning, and he renounced the killing of Abu Musab al-Zarqawi, even saying that he blames George Bush, most of all, for getting us into the war in Iraq to begin with.
It's very difficult on the families, even something like
two
today.
different opinions. We'll be back.
When other ways of getting to sleep don't work, there's something you should know. Tylenol PM relieves pain and sleeplessness with the pure pain relief of Tylenol and a sleep aid that's safe and non-habit forming when used as directed. So it will help when other ways can't.
What the? Barbara!
Honey, we're drinking silk.
Soy milk?
Paul, we have 2 calves. We both have demanding jobs. We need more than just coffee in the morning. Silk has soy protein, antioxidants, can help keep your heart healthy.
Okay, think heart. Heart. No, can't do it.
Oh, you're pathetic.
All right.
Right. Well, what do you think?
Good. You guys should try this.
Silk, beyond nutrition.
The scientific consensus is that we're causing global warming.
An inconvenient truth grabs you like a thriller with an ending that will haunt your dreams.
The Arctic is experiencing faster melting.
You will be captivated, then riveted, then scared out of your wits.
Because of what's happening, the maps of the world will have to be redrawn.
One of the most important films ever.
Our ability to live is what is at stake.
An inconvenient truth. Rated PG. Now playing in select theaters.
Up in the closet, need new shirts. This one is all stained with dirt. Oh, I need clothes. Oh, buy me clothes. Up in the closet, quick. Some new polo should do the trick.
It's the season for dads at Sears. When it comes to helping you refinance, some banks really go the distance. Refinance today with the LendingTree Flex Loan. Get up to $175,000 for about $766 a month. Call now at 1-800-555-TREE. When banks compete, you win at LendingTree.com.
Good morning. This is K2 News, the spirit of the Northwest.
Good morning, everyone. It's 7:22, and I'm Julia Radlick. Here is what's making news this morning. Family and friends are mourning the death of an 18-year-old who graduated from Lincoln High School last week. Andy Brinkley, his father, and 2 friends were on a graduation trip, sailing his father's sailboat up the Pacific coast from California back to Portland. But Andy was killed Tuesday after a wave knocked him overboard 35 miles west of San Francisco. Several boats searched for Andy, and a Coast Guard helicopter crew found him unconscious nearly 5 hours later. By the time they got him to the hospital, Brinkley was dead from hypothermia.
We just graduated. There isn't any, he doesn't get to enjoy the fruits of his labor for the past 13 years to work to this point, and it's hard, for sure.
He worked in the main office for 2 years, so everybody in the school knew him. And just very outgoing and just a very personable young man.
Counselors are helping the kids at Lincoln cope with the loss of Andy. The possible sale of the Portland Trail Blazers has made another step forward. After months of fighting, the Rose Garden and the Blazers have come to an agreement. It means if the Blazers sell, the team and the arena would be sold together. That package makes for a more attractive acquisition for investors. But a member of the arena's ownership group says there's no timetable for selling. It is time now to check on the morning commute. Here's Jeff Hunter with a look at Beat the Traffic. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning, Julia. Things are still pretty quiet out on the freeways. We do have some red showing up on the map, though, and that's because we've got some slowdowns. It is lined up if you're making your way northbound on I-5 in through the Terwilliger curves now. Watch out for some delays there. Lineup starts back a little before the Terwilliger exit. It's not back to Capitol Highway at last look. Sunset Highway also moving along fairly well. Got slow traffic as you make your way in from just before Sylvan. You can see right there approaching the Sylvan exit into 405. It looks great west of 217. The Banfield got some on and off slow traffic between 205 and I-5. It's pretty lined up at the west end. You can see right there pulling down past Grand Avenue and 12th Avenue down toward the I-5 split. It is also slowing in from Vancouver. I-5 southbound. Slow traffic heading down toward the Interstate Bridge. Most of the way down through Delta Park. Looks good the rest of the way down into downtown. We'll check it again in a few minutes.
Jeff, thank you so much. That is the news for now. We'll be right back with a look at weather.
If you've waited to buy solid wood, cherry, maple, or oak furniture or custom upholstery at the lowest possible prices, the time is now. When Showcase Furniture Gallery's inventory rises, prices fall on all our Northwest-made and name-brand items, such as our microfiber stain-resistant sofa for just $4.99. Act now to custom order or buy from stock on hand at these once-a-year only low prices. Only at Showcase Furniture Gallery in Delta Park's Furniture Row and Showcase Furniture Gallery Outlet in Hillsboro.
This is K2, the spirit of the Northwest. If you're in one of these locations, you may be able to receive a clearer signal by tuning to one of these UHF channels.
It's Izzy's meatiest dinner menu yet. Sunday through Tuesday, sizzling steak. Wednesday through Saturday, St. Louis-style smokehouse ribs, plus peach pudding cake, new elephant ears, and other great desserts. Izzy's serving steak and ribs, pizza, and a whole lot more.
Want to create something extraordinary? Create perfection. Our lifestyle appliances make it easy.
When only the best will do. Standard TV and appliance and you.
It's Izzy's meatiest dinner menu yet. Sunday through Tuesday, sizzling steak. Wednesday through Saturday, St. Louis-style smokehouse ribs, plus peach pudding cake, new elephant ears, and other great desserts. Izzy's serving steak and ribs, pizza, and a whole lot more.
Your forecast for the afternoon is looking very cloudy. Let's go ahead and take a look at the satellite picture and show you what's going on. We have a marine layer entrenched across the region that will bring cloudy skies to much of the region and perhaps even some drizzle along the coast. Current numbers are in the mid-50s, and we do have clouds stretching all the way from Washington down to southern Oregon on the west half of the Cascades. We will get up to 66 degrees today with perhaps a few sun breaks. The marine layer returns tonight, and your 5-day forecast and 10-day trend calling for possibly a little drizzle tomorrow as well. But then by the weekend, things improve dramatically with lots of sunshine and temperatures in the mid-70s.
A portion of this program is brought to you by Pier 1. Life more interesting. Your home is a story. How you tell it is up to you. Pier 1. Life more interesting.
Howdy, partner. It's John from Dick Hanna Chrysler Jeep in the giant Vancouver Auto Mall. Mosey on in. Have a look-see at over 300 Chryslers and Jeeps on sale now during Dick Hanna's Western Trade-In Days. We'll take anything in on trade. Trade in that old hay wagon for an 06 PT Cruiser, just $11,988. Get yourself 0% APR up to 60 months. Plus, become a customer for life with tires, car washes, rental cars for life, and more during Western Trade-In Days. Yeehaw! Only at Dick Hanna Chrysler Jeep in the giant Vancouver Auto Mall.
At Amica Insurance, our best advertising isn't done by us. It's done by our customers, who love to pass our name on to others. Why? Because at Amica, we believe choosing car insurance is too important to rush through. So when you call us, we'll take the time to understand you, and then help you understand your options. Maybe that's why J.D. Power & Associates has ranked Amica highest in customer satisfaction among national auto insurers 6 years running, and why people stay with us year after year. Call Amica now and start saving money today. And because we help you choose the right coverage, you could save a lot more down the road. And that's the kind of thing people love to tell other people about. Call Amica today and switch to the insurance company that understands it's not just how you're covered, it's how you're treated.
Introducing a communication solution your business can't do without. Introducing Quest Office Plus. It's high-speed internet plus, improved business class security plus, enhanced priority support plus, advanced networking abilities plus, a dedicated connection you don't have to share. Plus, it's a great value you need to act on. Bundle Quest Office Plus high-speed internet with 100% digital voice and save, all for $93 a month. That's our spirit of service.
As part of its programming schedule, KATU airs children's programming designed as educational and informational. We identify each program at the beginning by showing this symbol. Information regarding KATU's children's programming is available by inspecting our public file during regular business hours. You may contact our children's programming coordinator by calling 503-231-4222. K2 News, voted Oregon's best investigative journalism.
Good morning, America. If you're just joining us, we want to catch you up on the breaking news this morning. Big breaking news out of Iraq. Abu Musab al-Zarqawi, the al-Qaeda leader in Iraq, the one with a $25 million bounty on his life, has been killed in a joint U.S.-Iraqi operation. Welcome back, everyone. As we said, it is breaking news. We're getting new details all of the time, and glad to have you with us. Those are scenes of the two 500-pound bombs being dropped on the site where Zarqawi and 7 of his aides were, including his spiritual leader, which may have been the way they tracked him in the first place. There you see the rubble of what was supposed to be a safe house, and it was nestled in these palm trees, but safe no more. And we welcome you back, as we said.
Alongside Diane Sawyer, I'm Robin Roberts. Charlie Gibson is off this morning, and much of the credit this morning to what you just witnessed goes to a top-secret U.S. Special Operations Unit known as Task Force 145. They have been tracking that al-Qaeda leader for months. They came close on other occasions. They had some false leads, some near misses, but as the president said this morning, he is dead. They got their man.
And we'll bring you up to date on the fascinating details, including how they identified him. But we have other topics to cover in this half hour as well. Ahead, the convicted sex offender confessed to strangling a Clemson co-ed in her own home with a bikini top. So how did this man cross state lines, free to strike again at any time? And how should convicted sex offenders be dealt with? We'll get into that, too.
Also ahead, go ahead, take a look, get really close to your TV set. That's the first People magazine cover of the baby. Yes, Brad and Angelina's baby girl, Shiloh Nouvelle Jolie Pet. What do you think? She is beautiful, and she definitely has her mom's lips, her dad's eyes. We have all the photos, and we'll have that for you in just a little bit.
But first, let's go back to our breaking news this morning, the death of Abu Musab al-Zarqawi, the man called the godfather of terror in Iraq, the man responsible for those beheadings. Earlier this morning, President Bush spoke from the Rose Garden. Here's some of what he had to say.
Good morning. Last night in Iraq, United States military forces killed the terrorist al-Zarqawi. 6:15 Baghdad time, Special Operation Forces, acting on tips and intelligence from Iraqis, confirmed Zarqawi's location and delivered justice to the most wanted terrorist in Iraq. Zarqawi was the operational commander of the terrorist movement in Iraq. He led a campaign of car bombings, assassinations, and suicide attacks that has taken the lives of many American forces and thousands of innocent Iraqis. Osama bin Laden called this Jordanian terrorist the Prince of Al-Qaeda in Iraq. He called on the terrorists around the world to listen to him and obey him. Zarqawi personally beheaded American hostages and other civilians in Iraq. He masterminded the destruction of the United Nations headquarters in Baghdad. He was responsible for the assassination of an American diplomat in Jordan and the bombing of a hotel in Amman. Through his every action, he sought to defeat America and our coalition partners and turn Iraq into a safe haven from which Al-Qaeda could wage its war on free nations. To achieve these ends, he worked to divide Iraqis and incite civil war. And only last week, he released an audio tape attacking Iraq's elected leaders and denouncing those advocating the end of sectarianism. Now Zarqawi has met his end, and this violent man will never murder again. Iraqis can be justly proud of their new government and its early steps to improve their security. And Americans can be enormously proud of the men and women of our armed forces who worked tirelessly with their Iraqi counterparts to track down this brutal terrorist and to put him out of business.
And now we're going to turn to ABC News' George Stephanopoulos and to Martha Raddatz at the White House, who broke the story. I'll just start with you, Martha, because one of the things that we hear is that this is the team that is also in charge of finding bin Laden. This is the specialty team that did this.
It's Task Force 145, and they have been looking for bin Laden. They have been looking for Zarqawi. As you said a bit earlier, they have come very close to capturing Zarqawi in February 2005. They almost had him. They were tracking him in much the same way they were tracking today, likely from a Predator drone above him, and in that February raid, they just missed him. He got out under an overpass on a highway. Martha, his spiritual advisor was with him. A total of 7 people were killed in the bombings, and they said that was a link, perhaps, to him as well?
It was most certainly a link, Robin. In fact, that's who they were tracking. They were following him for 2 solid hours in real time, but they'd also been looking at this for days, going to various safe houses, looking in on them. One thing that really struck me today that we heard out of Baghdad is that they raided 17 other locations shortly after Zarqawi was killed. They call it a treasure trove of information. So what they're clearly hoping for here is not only they have killed the leader, but really broken up this network.
George, we saw the president there in the Rose Garden. Vice President Dick Cheney was there as well. And as you said earlier, he was very quick not to gloat or anything like that. But moving forward, where do we move forward politically after what's happened today?
Well, what the president's going to do immediately is call a meeting of his cabinet to come to Camp David on Monday to discuss the new plan for going forward in Iraq. And this was a previously scheduled meeting to try to reinforce this Iraqi government. But this Zarqawi news this morning was described by one White House official to me as a sweetener for the meeting. Of course, the big question on the table, will conditions improve enough so that American forces can come home? No one's making any promises like that yet because they know it's still a very dangerous situation in Iraq. But, you know, any kind of good news at this point it was so desperately needed at the White House. When the president was just about to get this information yesterday afternoon, he was actually meeting with some members of Congress who had just come back from Iraq, and one of them, Ray LaHood, said to him, you know, what you got to do is get Zarqawi. We need something we can talk about. And sure enough, about an hour later, the president got the news.
Wow. And also they were, for anybody even to be talking that way, that far in advance, shows how much they were hoping, and in this case, hope really came to pass. Okay, thanks to Martha, thanks to George, and want to just point out again that we're covering the story with all of the breaking details this morning, and turning to the weather and Mike Barr's in Nashville for the big CMA Music Festival. It's the Fans Festival, right?
Music Festival.
Music Festival. Yeah. Mike?
The CMA Music Festival now here in Nashville, Tennessee, right along Broadway. We'll meet some of the stars coming up in just a little bit. First, let's get you caught up on your weather, and unfortunately for folks in the Northeast, more rain in the forecast. Cool, 63 high for Albany. Warm and nice here in Nashville. 86 will be the high. Hot in the Southern Plains. 100 degrees in Waco. 90 in Cheyenne, where storms are forecast, and much of the west will be dry. 87 in Reno. And that is a brief look at the national picture. Here's what's happening near you.
Good morning, everyone. We're looking at a cloudy morning here in the northwest. The marine layer is very thick this morning and the onshore flow strong, so we probably won't see much clearing this afternoon. Tomorrow morning, we'll start off with the marine layer once again. Some drizzle is possible, but then the weekend ahead is looking very nice with temperatures in the 70s.
And we'll have more from Nashville coming up in just a little bit. Robin?
All right, Mike, next, did this convicted sex offender slip through the cracks? He has confessed to strangling a co-ed with her own bikini top. So why was he crossing state lines, free to strike yet again at any time? We'll talk about that when we come back.
We had a gig in half an hour.
But allergies have me so congested, I wasn't all there.
I told her, you need Claritin D.
So I got Claritin Clear. Claritin D relieved my worst symptoms and cleared my terrible congestion and sinus pressure fast. And I wasn't drowsy.
Told you, nothing works stronger, faster, or longer.
Live Claritin Clear.
Find Claritin D on the shelf or at the pharmacy counter. Still no prescription needed. Tired Time magazine calls Cars the first great movie of the summer.
Yeah!
And an instant classic.
Oh, yeah!
It's truly amazing.
There's a lot of love out there, you know, man.
Oh, take a car wash, hippie. Rolling Stone raves. It's downright breathtaking. A totally unique movie-going experience. It's 2 thumbs up for Disney Pixar's Cars.
Bring on the confetti! Ow! Ow! Easy with the confetti.
Rated G. It starts Friday.
Introducing Coffee Mate Soy. Made with all the goodness of soy, so it fits your healthy lifestyle. It's irresistibly smooth and velvety. Nestle Coffee Mate Soy Creamer. Coffee's newest perfect mate.
I love my new refrigerator.
Because it looks like wood and has a side burner for the all-important beans.
Whatever you want, get it now with no payments, no interest for 12 months store-wide with your Home Depot consumer credit card. Only at the Home Depot.
For every woman, there is that one color she looks best in. That's why Jergens Natural Glow Daily Moisturizer is now in 3 shades. So you can have the summer glow that looks best on you. Jergens, glowing skin is in.
Hey. Hey. Whew. Yeah. You look relaxed for somebody in your condition.
Yeah, it's because I have Aflac. What do you mean? Oh, when I'm hurt and miss work, Aflac gives me cash to help pay bills my health insurance doesn't.
You mean like car payments?
Mm-hmm.
Electric bills?
Mm-hmm.
Or the rent?
Yep. Even food. Chinese is here.
Great. I love duck. Aflac. Ask about it at work.
All my life I wanted to do something big. The world's fastest Indian, hailed as one of the year's best films. Fast, funny, and big-hearted. Academy Award winner Anthony Hopkins. The world's fastest Indian, coming to DVD June 13th from Magnolia Home Entertainment.
Thinking about buying or selling a home? Trust Windermere to give you great professional service. With Windermere, buyers can explore entire neighborhoods online or in person with an expert agent. Sellers, you can rely on Windermere's 30 years of local experience to help sell your home at the best price quickly.
Find out more about Windermere. Go to the yellow box at KATU.com and type in New Home Portland.
Now to that murder of Clemson University sophomore Tiffany Sowers, strangled in her own home with a bikini top. The man investigators say confessed to the crime, told police he is, quote, a sick animal. Now authorities are concerned that what they know of the registered sex offender's violent crime spree might just be the tip of the iceberg. Here's ABC Steve Osunsami.
Police say that 35-year-old Jerry Buck Inman did not know his alleged victim, Clemson sophomore Tiffany Marie Sowers. They say he was cruising her neighborhood when he saw her. She was found strangled with a bikini. The young woman's mother says she's comforted. Police have made an arrest.
He's a dark soul and it needs to be put away.
Police say they found Inman's DNA in the student's apartment. They also say he was connected to 2 other sexual assaults, one in Tennessee and another in Alabama, by witnesses who were watching television and recognized his tattoos.
He came up from behind me and put a knife to my throat and told me that, if I didn't calm down, that he was going to cut me.
This morning, frustrated authorities are asking themselves, how in the world was this registered sex offender able to travel freely between 4 states with none of them knowing? Inman is registered in Florida and North Carolina. Authorities were aware he was working and living in Tennessee, but he had no business making trips to Clemson University in South Carolina.
It's only 2.5 hours. Common sense would dictate he could drive to South Carolina. They don't wear ankle bracelets.
Inman is just one of 563,000 registered sex offenders living in the United States. His arrest for murder has mental health experts once again debating whether sexual predators can ever be rehabilitated.
I think we should be testing these guys like rats. We have got to figure out this problem.
We are making a basic error in treating all sex offenders as equally dangerous and not adjusting the level of control to the level of risk. Most sex offenders will not commit another sex crime.
Local law enforcement authorities who are responsible for keeping track of sex offenders complain they're too short-staffed to do the job well. A number of state and local governments are considering curfews, frequent lie detector tests, satellite tracking systems, whatever it takes. For Good Morning America, Steve Osunsami, ABC News, Atlanta.
whatever it takes. Joining us now, Headline News and Court TV's Nancy Grace. She's also the author of Objection, a book right now. Nancy, thank you. I know we all know your passion for this subject matter. We heard in Steve Osunsami's report that Inman, the man who has confessed, was registered in 2 states, not the state where he committed the crime.
Correct.
In South Carolina. So should a violent sex offender be ever released from jail?
Well, anecdotally, having dealt with so many sex offender prosecutions, my answer is no, especially in cases where there is a violent sex attack. Not only has he been incarcerated for 2 violent sex attacks, one on a man, one on a woman, in the days leading up to Tiffany Sowers' murder, her brutal murder, and I have reason to believe she fought back. She wanted to live. 2 rapes that we know of in the days leading up to her murder. One in Sevierville, Tennessee, another in Rainsville, Alabama. Both young ladies, both in my understanding, he cruised along and saw for no other reason other than seeing them and targeting them.
We see that sex offenders repeat a great deal of the crimes, that this is a type of crime that they have repeat offenses.
They can't stop. I don't care what some shrink will tell you on TV. That is not true. The recidivism rate for sex offenders is well above 80% that we know of. We only know of these 2 other offenses. There's no telling what Jerry Buck Inman has been up to since his early release. Coincidentally, he was set to be released 6/6/6. If he had been incarcerated at that time, Tiffany Sowers would be alive today.
You said 80%. Those are for those that are untreated. Those that are treated, they're said to commit crimes a little bit lower, 15 to 20%. But there are many people who speak out on their behalf, and we have a sex offender expert who says there are some that can be rehabilitated.
Simply enacting a law that promises to make society perfectly safe is foolish. Politicians today have a vested interest in really appealing, unfortunately, to public fear. The fact of the matter is that sex crimes have been reduced dramatically since 1993.
Well, maybe if Tiffany Sowers was his daughter, he wouldn't be so smug and complacent. There are so many ways to fight back. Every rental car has GPS in it. The monitoring amount of money it would take to monitor is $5 to $10 a day to monitor a convicted sex offender. So everyone can spout statistics all they want, but until it happens to them, they really don't have a leg to stand on.
And there are ways, GPS, monitoring, other ways to keep track of these.
And not just enacting laws, but following up and implementing.
Nancy Grace, thank you.
Thank you.
It's good to see you. We appreciate that. More Good Morning America in just a moment. Come on back.
I'm Ann, and I'm a GSK scientist. I just started Alzheimer's research when my grandmother was diagnosed. I wanted to hurry up and find a cure. We started working on ideas that no one else had tried. Maybe people don't think we try hard enough, but we believe we'll find the answers. And we're getting closer. What I see in the lab is very exciting. What I see at last is hope.
GlaxoSmithKline. Today's medicines finance tomorrow's miracles.
We can't see our insides. I can't see my heart. How do I know what kind of shape it's in? I cannot. But I can eat things like soy protein that can help keep it healthy. So I drink silk.
Breathe in, breathe out, restless, waiting for anything. So come on, come on, come on now. Let's jump right in, scream into the wind, feed the fire within. I can't ignore this burning in my soul. Come on, baby, let's go.
There's a car company for people like that. Ford. Bold moves.
The Pink Panther pounces on DVD June 13th. A crime, a girl.
I didn't kill her.
And a detective. What could possibly go wrong? Newspapers! Steve Martin, Kevin Kline, Beyonce Knowles on special edition DVD June 13th.
Denture wearers, we stained a string of pearls in barbecue sauce, not just to prove the stain-removing strength of Efferdent Plus or the freshening power of its Listerine ingredients, but to give every denture wearer the confidence to show those pearly whites. The confident clean of Efferdent Plus.
Want the secret to healthy skin? It's just below the surface. Introducing the newest Lubriderm Skin Nourishing Lotion with natural sea kelp extract. It helps dry skin absorb and retain moisture, so it's naturally healthy. New Lubriderm Skin Nourishing Lotion with sea kelp extract.
We've always wanted a home that's unusual.
With a view of the sea. Find your perfect place. It's easy at RE/MAX.com. Nobody sells more real estate than RE/MAX.
You'll find no easier place to get that used car or truck you've been looking for than a McCord's Vancouver Toyota.
Buying cars from McCord since '91. The professionalism of the people at McCord's is second to none. Wonderful people and very easy to work with. And I would recommend McCord's to anybody.
At McCord's Vancouver Toyota, we appreciate your business and we show it every day. Easy to work with and easy to find. VancouverToyota.com.
Why would I want to go anyplace else?
Welcome to the new standard of excellence in dental care. At Dental Images, Dr. Rod Johnson treats you like a special guest in the home. Dr. Johnson and his staff offer a wide range of modern dental procedures, general dentistry, cosmetic, or dental implants.
Hi, I'm Dr. Rod Johnson. Let all of us at Dental Images exceed your expectations.
Dental Images is welcoming new patients, so call or visit our website today for a free consultation. Mention this ad and receive $300 off a Zoom 2 1-hour whitening.
How can you kick off your summer in a big way? How's this for big? New Vanilla Mint Listerine presents Good Morning America's Summer Concert Series. And now, get ready for the big summer concert sweepstakes. 4 grand prize winners will get a trip or 2 to New York City. 4 days and 3 nights with deluxe hotel accommodations. $500 spending money. And get this, VIP concert tickets to the summer concert of their choice. Now that's good to go. Just go to GMAconcerts.com to enter the summer concert sweepstakes. Presented by New Vanilla Mint Listerine.
That's right, Kenny Chesney tomorrow, but still ahead here this morning on Good Morning America, some major medical news for you. Today could be a landmark day in the fight against one of the most deadly forms of cancer, cervical cancer. There's a new vaccine that the FDA may approve today, and it could make a world of change.
And she's ready for her close-up. Are you ready for this? Yes, People magazine got the picture, and there it is, Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt's baby. That's Miss Shiloh Nouvelle Jolie Pitt to the rest of us. And she seems to have her mother's lips, she does there. And we're going to have a chance to sit down and talk about what happened in the photo shoot and what we learned about each of these individual pictures when one of the editors of People magazine joins us.
And would we find out how much these pictures went for?
We're going to try.
Pin them down?
We'll try.
Yeah, we will.
We'll take a break and be back.
Your father used to say that you were put here for a reason.
So, you flew in last week. Does he still stand for truth, justice, all that stuff?
It's a plane.
No, look, it's... you wanted to see me?
Rated PG-13. In theaters and IMAX June 28th.
To keep you going strong, choose GNC Women's Ultra Mega Bone Density Formula Multivitamin, featuring MBP, a protein complex from milk clinically shown to support natural bone building. At GNC, we believe a quality life starts from within. Live well.
Finally, advanced sun protection you can't wait to apply. New Neutrogena Fresh Cooling Sunblock. Cools with the Waterlight Mist. Provides superior stabilized UVA, UVB defense with Helioplex. Powerful protection, instant refreshment. New Fresh Cooling Sunblock. Neutrogena.
It's coming. 5 new vehicles. All have our best ideas within them. All are engineered for people who love the road. It's coming. The next generation of Nissan thinking for the next generation of Nissan drivers. Get ready. Shift 2.0 is coming.
New Shed Spread Country Crock spreadable butter with canola oil so it spreads cold.
Butter that spreads cold. Huh? I got something there.
Country Crock spreadable butter.
It's your thing. Do what you want to do. I can't tell you how to get your groove. It's your thing. Do what you want to do now. Show your style, girl. Do whatever you choose. It's your thing.
Brooks at Pier 1.
JR Furniture is the largest privately owned furniture company in the Northwest. Now, during JR Furniture and Gresham's summer sales event, save up to 50% off selected merchandise and pay no interest until 2010. Huge selection of famous brand names with savings up to 50% off and no interest until 2010. Save at the furniture leader, JR Furniture, 40 Northwest Burnside and Gresham.
JR Furniture, discover the difference.
Love, regret, passion, betrayal. For the first time in city history, Oregon Ballet Theater brings the complete Swan Lake in 4 acts to Portland with world premiere choreography by artistic director Christopher Stoll. Tchaikovsky's music performed by a full orchestra. One of the greatest classical ballets of all time. Swan Lake with 4 performances only. June 9 to 11 at Keller Auditorium. For tickets, call 503-2-BALLET.
Good Morning America is brought to you by Pier 1. From comfy outdoor collections to cool indoor looks, find the perfect wicker seating. Pier 1. It's your thing.
The NBA Finals on ABC. Heat. Mavericks. Game 1. Miami overpowered a tough Pistons team as Shaq and Wade proved too much to handle. Now, the Heat take on the Mavericks and Dirk, fresh off an electrifying performance against the Suns, who will take Game 1 in their drive for a first-ever NBA championship. The NBA Finals coverage begins tonight, 8 Eastern, on ABC.
Fact, when it comes to cleaning your toilet, you want something really powerful, but you don't have to go to extremes. Fact, nothing beats the power of Lysol Toilet Bowl Cleaner. Its thick formula clings to the bowl, destroying tough stains, even the worst rust. And best of all, it kills 99.9% of germs. To help protect your family, you don't need anything else. Life demands Lysol, that's a fact.
And to help keep your toilet clean and fresh continuously, try Cling 2-in-1.
Right now, it's Sleep Country's fantastic mix and match sale. Save big on hundreds of mismatched Sealy, Simmons, Spring Air, and Pacific mattress sets. And every size is on sale.
Why buy a mattress anywhere else?
Elton John. One show only, September 24th, live at the Rose Garden. Elton John and his band. The Captain and the Kid Tour, featuring all your favorites live. Tickets go on sale this Monday at 9 a.m.
Get something special for Dad during the Father's Day sale at Wix Furniture. For 1 week only, buy 1 recliner, get 1 free. Plus, get a 6-piece reclining leather sectional for just $47 a month. Or a 5-piece dining room for just $14 a month. All with free interest till 2010 on everything in the store. 0 minimum purchase, 0 interest till 2010. Make Father's Day a furniture day. Hurry, Wix Father's Day sale ends Tuesday.
Watch Jeopardy! Tonight at 7 here on K2. Good morning. This is K2 News. The spirit of the Northwest.
Good morning, everyone. It's 7:58, and I'm Julia Radlick. Here's what's making news this morning. Members of the Washington County Sheriff's Office are coping with the loss of one of their own. A deputy was killed in a motorcycle accident while he was off duty. It happened Tuesday night on North Valley Road near Gaston. 47-year-old Randy Nunnenkamp had been a deputy for 17 years. We met him several years ago when he and his wife taught classes on how to recognize child predators. Investigators say he died after a driver crossed the center line. 2 cars and his Harley were involved in the accident.
You know, our hearts go out to all of them, and we're going to do the very best job that we can for all the parties involved, the other drivers as well, to try and get some answers to this.
Another driver, Trent Long, is in good condition at Portland Hospital. Investigators say it could be more than a week before they know what caused the crash. It is time now to check on the morning commute. Here's Jeff Hunter with Beat the Traffic. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning, Julia. Things are pretty quiet out on the freeways right now. We do have some slow spots, though. You can see them on the Beat the Traffic map. Red means really slow. Yellow means just a little slow. We've got some lineups if you're making your way northbound on 217. It is slow. just after Walker Road. You see heavy volume pulling up there. Just after that, it's lined up to the Sunset Highway. Sunset Highway slows down just a little after 217, and it's stop and go most of the way into downtown. We've also got some delays if you're making your way I-5 northbound, starting back before Capitol Highway now up into the Terwilliger curves. Get a report of an accident in the right lane just before Capitol Highway. We'll keep our eyes on that. Watch out for waits on the Banfield. It is slow on and off between 205 and I-5. It's easing up just a little bit out of the Hollywood district, and still slow in from Vancouver on I-5 southbound. The lineup starts back at about Mill Plain. Stay slow most of the way down through Delta Park. Back to you, Julia.
Thanks so much, Jeff. That is the news for now. We'll be back with weather in about 25 minutes. We hope to see you then.
Good Morning America. It is Thursday, June 8th, 2006, and you're watching a special edition of Good Morning America. This morning we've been seen live from coast to coast on the breaking news. The big story of the day, Abu Musab al-Zarqawi is dead, and we welcome you back for more of our special broadcast this morning.
And already President Bush has spoke this morning, just moments ago, from the Rose Garden, and he called Zarqawi the Prince of Terror in Iraq. He applauded, of course, U.S. troops and coalition forces because after all the near misses and false leads, they finally got Zarqawi.
And new details are coming in all the time about how they did that. Our correspondents are from Baghdad to the White House this morning bringing you the news. So let's go straight to ABC's Miguel Marquez in Baghdad. He's got more. Miguel?
Diane, there is some new video that we're getting out of the Pentagon of the bomb site itself. It's about 50 miles north of Baghdad, where Zarqawi was killed by two 500-pound bombs after following him for a couple of weeks. Task Force 145 had eyes on him, both visual surveillance and Predator drone surveillance, we understand from military officials. Here's how General Casey made the announcement this morning.
Coalition forces killed al-Qaeda terrorist leader Abu Musab al-Zarqawi and one of his key lieutenants, spiritual advisor Sheikh Abdul Rahman, yesterday, June 7th, at about 6:15 in the evening. This happened in an airstrike that was conducted against an identified, isolated safe house.
A total of 8 people, Zarqawi and 7 others, were killed in that house north of Baghdad. It is just an amazing reaction that you are getting from Iraqis here. When it was announced by the Iraqi Prime Minister that Zarqawi was dead, he said he had been terminated. There erupted applause in the chamber where he announced that. And Iraqis in the street, we have seen some of them dancing, but at the same time, the violence goes on here. A car bomb ripped through a central market here and killed at least 19 people. Diane?
That's right, Miguel. Thanks. And got to say over and over again, as much of a menace as he was to Americans, there's also beheadings to the Iraqis. He was a true prince of terror, a merchant of death.
And our chief White House correspondent, Martha Raddatz, broke this story overnight, and we understand, Martha, you have some new information.
Have a bit of new information later this afternoon. They will release a photograph and possibly a videotape of al-Zarqawi. It is a headshot. It is just his head after his death. In that headshot, he apparently has something that looks like a turban on. Don't know what color clothing he has on. The official I spoke to said he has only seen the shot of Zarqawi's face, and it is clearly Zarqawi, he said.
Thank you so much, Martha Raddatz, our chief White House correspondent in Washington. And now GMA Weekend anchor Bill Weir is here with the other major news of the morning. Bill?
Oh, thank you, Robin. Good morning again, everyone. We do have breaking news from Iran this morning, the first sign of cooperation over its nuclear program. President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad announced that Iran is ready for talks to discuss what he calls mutual concerns. He did not say whether he will accept an incentive package in exchange for halting uranium enrichment. The USS Cole sails to the Middle East today, its first return to the region since a terror attack more than 5 years ago. 17 sailors were killed when the ship was bombed in Yemen, and many who survived that blast requested continued service on that ship. VA Chief Jim Nicholson is facing some angry questions today on Capitol Hill. Congress wants to know how personal information about nearly every veteran and millions of active duty personnel got compromised. It happened during a burglary at a VA employee's home. Some are calling for Nicholson to resign. A tornado has ripped through the Midwest, destroying half a dozen homes, damaging many others. 2 people were injured. High winds strong enough to knock a semi-truck off a highway and rip it open like a tin can. That is the news at 8:04. Let's go to Mike Bars in Music City down in Nashville for the big CMA Festival. Hey, Mike.
Which takes place all weekend long. Hundreds of acts and performances all around here, including Josh. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
This is home for you, so you enjoy hanging out here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah, these people have been out since, some of them haven't slept, I know that. Just coming here to see you, which is pretty cool. The line up and down Broadway as well. What's it like performing here in front of this crowd?
This is a great time. You know, people come from all across the country, all across the world, and they're all great country music fans, and so it's a fun time to come here and see how enthusiastic everybody
And there's your current album, Your Man, made its debut. #1 in the Billboard Country Album Charts, huh? Yeah. Not bad. We appreciate you stopping by, and you're expecting a baby very soon as well, right?
Yeah,
so your wife, who you met here in Nashville, who performs in your bed, and when is she due?
October.
And you know what you're having?
A boy.
A little boy. That's a pretty special thing. Josh, we appreciate you stopping by. Let's get you caught up on the weather real quick. It's going to be hot and sticky, but dry here in Nashville, folks. So that's the good news here. Warm and hot for most of the country, really. 80s and 90s, 89 in Denver and St. Louis. Dallas soars to 97, maybe higher. 92 in New Orleans. In contrast, cooler in the Northeast. Only 61 in Boston, where it should be 74. That's a brief look at the national picture here at the capital.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Julia Radlick. We have a very thick marine layer across the western half of the Cascades this morning. The onshore flow from the ocean is very strong, so we're not expecting a whole lot of clearing today. I think most of this cloud cover is going to stick with us. So we're looking at a high of about 66 degrees today. Perhaps a few sun breaks this afternoon, but it will be cloudier than it was yesterday. Overnight tonight, the clouds return, and by tomorrow morning, we may see a little drizzle here and there. But the weekend ahead is looking very nice with temperatures in the mid to upper 70s.
Thanks so much to Josh, Bill Currington, coming up a little later, and Sarah Evans as well. Robin?
All right, my good folks down there, thank you. Today could be a landmark day in the fight against one of the most deadly forms of cancer. The Food and Drug Administration is expected to announce its approval of a new vaccine for HPV, the human papillomavirus. HPV causes about 70% of cervical cancers, a cancer that afflicts 500,000 women worldwide each year and claims nearly 300,000 lives. Lives like that of Heather Lynn Martin, whose story was told by her friend, Sarah Lyle, in this month's Jane magazine.
Heather and I met as freshmen in high school. A mutual friend of ours introduced us, and we hit it off right away. She just was so positive and upbeat, and such a real joy to be around. She was very vigilant about her own health. When I asked her if she had gotten a couple of pap smears in the last few years, she told me that she had. It was a priority for her. When she went to the doctor, the woman who was examining her freaked out a little bit and said, oh my God, oh my God. And Heather said, you know, what's wrong? What's going on? And the woman said, I can't see your cervix. It's obscured by some mass. The mass ended up being an 8-centimeter tumor on her cervix. The cancer just progressed so rapidly, and she got so sick so fast. She did one round of chemo and one round of radiation. Unfortunately, it did not work. We all took our, turns saying our goodbyes to her, and I just told her that I was just so happy to have had the time with her that I did. That it was okay for her to go. It was okay for her to leave.
And ABC News medical editor Dr. Tim Johnson joins us now. Tim, remind us of the problems caused by this infection.
HPV can cause a lot of devastation. First and most importantly, as we've just seen, cervical cancer. But it can also cause other female cancers, vulvar and vaginal cancers. It can lead to a lot of abnormal pap smears, which means a lot of further medical care, cervical biopsies. Rarely it can contaminate the birth canal and cause problems for the newborn. And it can cause genital warts, which are benign, but are very difficult to treat in both men and women. So a whole host of problems, and the excitement about this vaccine is that it will help greatly reduce the risk for all of those problems. It has to be given 3 times over 6 months. The safety profile looks excellent. Only 0.2% dropped out because of any side effects.
Wow.
So there's huge excitement in the medical community.
Yeah, rightfully so. So it's expected to be approved today. So what's next?
Next is the critical meeting of the CDC's Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices. This is where they will come out with some recommendations about how this vaccine should be used, when it should be given. And of course, as we all know, there's great debate now, because medically speaking, it's clear that it would best be given to very young girls before they become sexually active. Even if they intend to be sexually abstinent, when they get married, their husband might well infect them, because this is widely transmitted by men to women. So we think from a medical viewpoint, there's no debate. It should be given to women, young girls, before they become sexually active. Parents may have some different viewpoints, and obviously families are going to have to negotiate.
Right,
this.
families will have questions, but the medical community, they have their answers right now for this. How about older women, Tim?
Well, if older women are still free of HPV and they can be tested for it, I think it would work. It's only been tested so far in women ages 16 to 26, but I do think there will be a place for it in older women who have not yet become infected with the HPV virus.
And it's so silly to ask, can men be, because...
Not silly at all, because men transmit it.
Right.
There are 20 million Americans, men and women, infected. They pass it back and forth during sexual activity. Men get genital warts, so it's being tested in men now, and I suspect we will be recommending it for men and maybe even for young boys.
We know about here in this country. I can't help but think of worldwide what this means, especially in these underdeveloped nations all
No
around the world.
question that's where the biggest benefit will be, because as you pointed out, there's 500,000 new cases every year worldwide, about 250,000 deaths. They don't have the medical system to do regular pap smears and follow-up. So this will be a wonderful way of preventing this devastating problem in the third world.
Again, it's expected to be approved today.
And recommendations by the end of the month, and probably available a month or so later.
Fantastic. Tim, thank you very much. Appreciate that. It's now 11 minutes after the hour. Next, the first look at baby Brangelina from the pages of People magazine, little Shiloh Nouvelle Jolie Pitt. You'll see the pictures for yourself when we come back.
What the? Barbara!
Honey, we're drinking silk.
Soy milk?
Paul, we have 2 calves. We both have demanding jobs. We need more than just coffee in the morning. Silk has soy protein, antioxidants, can help keep your heart healthy.
Okay, think heart. Heart. No, can't do it.
Oh, you're pathetic.
All right.
Right. Well, what do you think?
Good. You guys should try this.
Silk. Beyond Nutrition.
You play basketball my way. My way's hard. You may not know their story.
Coach Haskins is starting 5 black players.
But their journey changed the game forever.
We did not back down here! We gotta take it!
Glory Road. Own it today on DVD.
Do I shop online? I am the queen of finding deals online. It's convenient. I always find what I want. There are probably 30 different online stores with my personal information by now. I love using my Discover card because they give me secure online account numbers, and I don't have to give my real credit card number to anyone. Some people are still nervous about shopping online. Not me. Thieves can't steal what they can't see.
Another reason it pays to Discover. The Discover card.
Why ask your doctor about Botox Cosmetic?
This is my time.
Everyone has their own reason. Go to BotoxCosmetic.com to find a doctor nearby. Ask your doctor about the one, the only Botox Cosmetic.
Isn't it about time?
Oh, plasma screen, how lovely are your pixels. My feet are up, my favorite chair. It's all reruns, but I don't care. Oh, my remote, stress antidote. Hey, I think I'll make a sandwich.
It's the season for dads. This week, find great deals on the latest electronics Dad wants most. The Father's Day sale at Sears.
Not long after we moved from the East Coast to the West, my allergies took a turn for the worse. So I kept the top on and spent more time inside than out. My doctor said I developed new allergies. Lucky me.
Are your allergy symptoms worse than before? You may have developed new allergies. That's why it's important to discuss all your symptoms with your doctor. He may prescribe an allergy medicine like Zyrtec. He may also suggest simple changes like using an air conditioner. Zyrtec is the #1 prescribed allergy medicine in the U.S. Ask your doctor if Zyrtec is right for you. It's approved to treat both outdoor and indoor allergies and even treats itching due to chronic hives. Zyrtec's most common side effects in adults include drowsiness, tiredness, and dry mouth. Lots of allergies, just one Zyrtec.
The Breakup is breaking records across the country.
Victory! Does it feel good to be a champion? Yeah.
It's the #1 movie in America.
I love you, baby.
And the biggest summer romantic comedy opening of all time. The Breakup, rated PG-13, now playing.
Hey, Ted. See you next week.
Yeah, see you, buddy.
Bye, Ted. Did you pick up the mail for us?
Yeah, okay.
Have a great weekend, buddy.
Looks like everyone's going away this summer, thanks to the Hotels.com Great Summer Getaway. Our experts have found amazing deals in places like New York, Orlando, San Francisco, and more. So log on or call now. Hotels.com. We know hotels inside and out.
I've lived here all my life. I'm not going anywhere. I've made arrangements for assistance if I need it. I'm a realist. I know I'll be old one day.
Long-term care coverage from Mutual of Omaha Insurance Company.
Tomorrow, it's Kenny Chesney live in a GMA concert event. Morning TV has never looked and sounded so hot. And just look who else is coming this summer. Christina Aguilera, Huey Lewis and the News, Pussycat Dolls, Trey, The Beach Boys, Prince, Carrie Underwood, Pharrell featuring Kanye West, Lionel Richie, Red Hot, Mary J. Blige. And that's just for starters. But first, tomorrow, wake up with Kenny Chesney live. Now that's good to go. It's Good Morning America's Summer Concert Series, presented by new Vanilla Mint Listerine. Fast forward, now I need to rewind.
Well, it has been called the holy grail of baby photos. The first images of Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt's 12-day-old child, their little girl, the pages of People magazine, hits newsstands tomorrow. But this morning, a first look at Shiloh Novell Jolie Pitt. The pictures come from on the heels of the couple's first press conference since her birth nearly 2 weeks ago in Namibia. And here's ABC's Nancy Weiner.
Say hello to Shiloh Novell. Friday's People magazine has the exclusive photos of the world's most famous baby, sleeping soundly in her father's arms, sporting her mother's trademark lips. And the little Shiloh doesn't open her eyes in these pics. According to People magazine, she has her father's baby blues. In their first public appearance since their daughter's birth, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie thanked their adopted country of Namibia. We are proud that our daughter was born here, Pitt told reporters, and we leave with fond memories and definitely hungry to return. The couple appeared alongside the First Lady of Namibia and the country's Minister of Child Welfare. We were afforded a peace here that we could not have at home, Pitt said. It means very much to us just getting to spend quality time together to do the things normal families would do. So could wedding bells be in the future for the proud parents? Not right now, says Jolie. The focus is the kids, and we are obviously extremely committed to the children and as parents together. So that kind of says it for us, and to have a ceremony on top of it is nothing. People magazine says Jolie and Pitt plan to leave Namibia in the coming days, and the country will have to say goodbye, for now, to its most famous news citizen. For Good Morning America, Nancy Weiner, ABC News.
And joining us now, Peter Castro, executive editor of People magazine. Big smile. This was the big get.
This was a big get.
I don't think they're going to be seeing our faces much more in the next few minutes. It's all going to be about the baby photos. So bye-bye.
It's all about the
those
baby.
photos.
She seems to have those lips.
Yeah, genetics don't lie. I mean, from the nose down, it's all Angelina, and from the nose up, it's Brad Pitt. It's amazing.
This little girl swimming in a pretty good gene pool.
Yeah, she really is. I mean, as advertised, she's as beautiful as everyone imagined.
But she is gorgeous, but also the way in various pictures that we see Angelina looking at Brad is very revealing as well.
And that's a very interesting point. There were very few pictures of them together anyway, but very, very few of them ever looking at each other. And this picture doesn't lie, you know. For anyone out there that doubted, you know, if this relationship was real, if he was just a baby maker, I think these two are really in love.
Now, how much editorial control did you have in choosing these photos? Is there a whole, you know, test sheet there with, you know, dozens of selections, and you chose this one?
Well, I don't know about dozens of selections, but we definitely did have a selection, and we picked these, and we were very happy with these.
Can you talk about the bidding for this? I mean, it's reported $4 million for this single shot.
Yeah, well, you can ask me, but I don't know how much I can say. All I can say is this. You know, over the past several weeks, we've heard figures between $3.5 and $5 million, and this latest one of 4.1. They're all incorrect.
Oh, you're good.
Oh, that's so helpful.
Run back anytime. Give us, what do you know about where they're going to live?
Where they're going to live? Well, he's heading back to do Ocean's 13 July 9th, which is tomorrow, isn't it? And she will be following him. So I think they'll be in L.A. for a long time right now.
And we have reported earlier that Namibian tourism, really, no kidding, has already shot up the
Who knew where
inquiries.
Namibia was before this? And it's apparently a beautiful country, and I think it's, you know, it's done wonders for that place.
And we believe they gave the money, such as it was, they gave it to a charity?
Yes, in fact, I'm glad you asked me about that, Diane. They gave $300,000 to the hospital there, which, by the way, they said was as good as any American hospital. But all the money that we paid for these photographs are going to charities.
You don't know which ones? They haven't?
I don't know which ones, but they are all, I think, centered around children in Africa. And over the next couple of issues in People magazine and on our website, readers can get specific information.
Yeah, and, you know, we've seen pictures of Angelina with tattoos near their shoulder. She talked about it with Cynthia McFadden when they were on Nightmare recently together. And you figured them out? You've deciphered some?
It was the oddest thing. So we're looking at these pictures in the managing editor's office, and someone noticed these numbers, and some really smart person on staff says, wait a minute, those look like latitude and longitude lines. There happened to be a globe in the office, and we went over to the globe, and we figured it out, and the lines are for Ethiopia and Cambodia, the countries of Zahara and Maros. So now if you see a new set of numbers, I think it'll be Namibia.
You've cracked the Angelina code.
I want to put back up the picture, though, of Brad with the baby we can. Because, do we have, Brad and Shiloh back up there? Yes, I just love the way his hand is behind her
Oh,
head.
yeah. And you know
exactly right, Dad,
It's the greatest smell in the world, a newborn's head right there. It's beautiful there.
You've been there.
I've got some pictures of a 2.5-year-old named Olivia Weir. $50. I'll give you $50
and they're yours.
Yeah, easy.
Thanks,
Peter, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Magazine's coming out on newsstands right now. We'll be back.
No matter what you love, all you need is a Chase Rewards card. Everybody loves to earn free rewards. Find the card you'll love at ChooseChase.com.
Introducing Coffee Mate Soy. Made with all the goodness of soy, so it fits your healthy lifestyle. It's irresistibly smooth and velvety. Nestle Coffee Mate Soy Creamer. Coffee's newest perfect mate.
Want bigger, more beautiful potted plants? Miracle Grow makes it easy with new moisture control potting mix. Watch. The soil is so amazing, it actually stores water, only releasing it when plants need it, taking the guesswork out of watering. Plus, there's Miracle Grow plant food mixed right in that feeds for 3 months. So plants grow twice as big. Easy and amazing. Want it big? Want it beautiful? Make it Miracle Grow.
A Prairie Home Companion is pure entertainment.
You might think about cutting down on the desserts and sex with men.
It's a cause for celebration, hysterical, a gem.
What are you writing? What's it about? Suicide? Oh.
She put a hose in his tailpipe.
Delightful, a rollicking good time at the movies is guaranteed.
The barn doors are open.
A Prairie Home Companion, rated PG-13, starts Friday.
Some sinus medicines treat congestion, but not pain. New Tylenol Sinus is different. It combines the pure pain relief of Tylenol with powerful sinus medicine. Stop. Think. Tylenol Sinus.
I love my new refrigerator.
Because it looks like wood and has a side burner for the all-important beans.
Whatever you want, get it now with no payments, no interest for 12 months store-wide with your Home Depot consumer credit card. Only at the Home Depot.
What's that? This? Smart Start Healthy Heart. Healthy Heart?
Yeah. It contains ingredients that may help lower both blood pressure and cholesterol as part of a healthy lifestyle.
Cool. It's a cereal that helps take care of my heart. You see, I want to be around forever. Great.
The only one with ingredients that may help lower both. Kellogg's Smart Start Healthy Heart. Do more.
Why stop my life to test my blood sugar? Isn't there an easier meter that fits into my busy life? I test myself every day. Can't it be more simple?
Only Bayer can bring you a meter this easy, this accurate, and this complete. Contour's unique test strips eliminate the need for coding and sip in a tiny amount of blood for easy sampling, making it the simple way to get fast, accurate readings.
Don't I have enough to think about?
Easy accuracy. Answered by Bayer.
Good morning. This is K2 News, the spirit of the Northwest.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Julia Radlick. Here is what's making news this morning. Family and friends are mourning the death of an 18-year-old who graduated from Lincoln High School last week. Andy Brinkley, his father, and two friends were on a graduation trip, sailing his father's sailboat up the Pacific coast from California back to Portland. But Andy was killed Tuesday after a wave knocked him overboard 35 miles west of San Francisco. Several boats searched for Andy, and a Coast Guard helicopter crew found him unconscious nearly 5 hours later. By the time they got to a hospital, Brinkley was dead from hypothermia.
He lived the way you should up until 18 years old, enjoying life and experiencing new things and really getting into where it starts to get good and, miss out on the biggest experiences.
Counselors are helping the kids at Lincoln cope with the loss of Andy. Oregon Senator Gordon Smith was the only senator from our area who voted in favor of a constitutional ban on same-sex marriage yesterday. But when all the votes were counted, the ban went down. 49 senators voted against it and 48 voted for it, 11 votes shy of the 60 required. Supporters say they knew they wouldn't get the votes the amendment needed. Democrats say the issue is all about conservative politics. The House will debate it again this summer. The possible sale of the Portland Trail Blazers has made another step forward. After months of fighting, the Rose Garden and the Blazers have come to an agreement. It means if the Blazers sell, the team and the arena will be sold together, and the Blazers will likely stay in Portland. That package makes for a more attractive acquisition for investors, but a member of the arena's ownership group says there's no timetable for selling.
There are some natural dates, such as the draft date at the end of this month and the beginning of the preseason, the beginning of the season.
Potential buyers are reacting to this. We've learned the group led by former Blazer Terry Porter gathered yesterday afternoon to talk about what's next. Your forecast for this afternoon looks like a cloudy one as we take a look outside right now from the Hood River Inn and the Columbia River Gorge. It is gray skies this morning as plenty of cloud cover and marine layer move over the area. On the latest satellite picture, you can see all across the western half of the Cascades, the marine layer has socked in the area. The onshore flow is strong this morning, so chances of us seeing the sunshine are pretty slim. However, we could see some sun breaks later today. Current numbers are in the mid to upper 50s, and we do have cloudy skies all across the metro area. We should reach a high of about 66 degrees this afternoon. This morning, there is a slight chance of some drizzle along the Coast Range and in the Cascades. Overnight tonight, partly cloudy to begin with, but then the clouds move back in once again. There's a slight chance of rain tomorrow morning with the marine layer once again. But then we clear out tomorrow afternoon. Saturday and Sunday at this point looking nice with temperatures in the mid to upper 70s.
Right now, it's Sleep Country's fantastic mix and match sale. Save big on hundreds of mismatched Sealy, Simmons, Spring Air, and Pacific mattress sets, and every size is on sale.
Why buy a mattress anywhere else?
There's nothing like the taste of Taco Del Mar. We discovered the new Mojito Burrito with the tasty new sauce of lime and cilantro. The new Mojito Burrito from Taco Del Mar. It's our favorite by far.
Taste fulfilled.
This is K2, the spirit of the Northwest. If you're in one of these locations, you may be able to receive a clearer signal by tuning to one of these UHF channels.
Let the design specialist at Signs Now help you stand out in a crowded world. Signs Now has solutions for any and all situations, large or small, be it indoor, outdoor, vehicles too. From basic vinyl and screen prints to high-end digital color graphics. With 4 locations in the metro area, Signs Now makes it easy for you to stand out in a crowded world.
Find out more about Signs Now. Go to the yellow box at KATU.com and type in Signs.
JR Furniture in Gresham's summer sales event. Save up to 50% off.
JR Furniture, discover the difference.
There are great things in store for you at the Salvation Army Thrift, so why not get a good deal and do a good deed? The Salvation Army, doing the most good.
On Medium, she can see the future. Next, Martha, Patricia Arquette's special talent is put to the test.
Is this going to turn out or not? I'm asking you as a medium.
The Emmy winner serves up turtle cake with a cool Martha twist. And what is Martha serving our audience? Then, Martha serves sets and spikes with the best.
Olympians!
Plus gardening for beginners.
We planted 1,000 daffodils at our school.
They're beautiful!
And how to plant a vegetable garden step by step. Next, Martha.
Today at 11 on K2, the Spirit of the Northwest.
This K2 program brought to you by Sylvan Learning Center's Book Adventure.
And Good Morning America. It is Thursday, June 8th, 2006, and you've been watching a special edition of Good Morning America, broadcast live coast to coast because of the breaking news out of Iraq. Abu Musab al-Zarqawi is dead, thanks to American forces and a lot of intelligence at work. You're looking there at the rubble from the site where two 500-pound bombs were dropped on him after they had tracked him for days on end.
A man with a $25 million bounty on his head, a big victory for U.S. forces in Iraq this morning. ABC News broke the story overnight. Our Martha Raddatz, and we'll have new details in just a moment. But we'll also have more in this half hour as well, like a consumer report, the nation's best restaurants, where you and your family can get the bang for your buck when you're eating out. The results ahead.
And also, we know that Colin Farrell is a legendary one, a so-called bad boy, but they don't always make the best boyfriend.
No.
So why do some women keep choosing them? And are you dating a bad boy in sheepish clothing? We've got the red flags, but Bill Weir's going to lead us off with the news.
Okay, Diane, we're going to start with that breaking news out of Iraq. Abu Musab al-Zarqawi dead, the al-Qaeda leader there, killed in a U.S. airstrike near Bakuba. ABC's Miguel Marquez now joins us from Baghdad with the latest. Miguel.
Just stunning news out of Baghdad today there, Bill. There's some Pentagon video of the place where Zarqawi met his end, about 50 miles north of Baghdad. We understand through military sources that they had been following him for about 2 weeks. They had eyes on his spiritual advisor for about 2 hours before the strike occurred. When it did, they dropped two 500-pound bombs on Zarqawi. The reaction here in Iraq has been one of great celebration by most Iraqis. Bill?
Okay, Miguel Marquez reporting from Baghdad. We're also expecting to hear from Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld later today. President Bush did speak out earlier today, calling this a great blow to the terrorists in Iraq there. Iran is opening the door for nuclear talks this morning after months of defiance. Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad says his country ready to discuss mutual concerns to resolve misunderstandings, but he did not comment on the incentive package the U.S. and Europeans are offering if Iran stops enriching uranium. The hammer will wrap no more. It is the last day in Congress for Tom DeLay, the former House Majority Leader. He is going home to Texas to face campaign finance charges. DeLay will deliver a farewell speech to House colleagues later today. That's a quick check of the news at 8:32. Let's go back to Mike Bars in Nashville, the big CMA Music Festival, with another friend. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, another friend, and I've never heard so many cat calls with this guy walking down the street right here. Billy Currington, folks. The ladies love him. And we're up right above Broadway right here in the middle of Nashville. Jump up here, Billy. Give a wave. Give a wave. These people have been out here since about 2 in the morning. I know some of them have never slept. This is pretty cool for you because you said you've played a lot of these bars?
Yeah, I've actually been here since I was 18 years old, and I've played every one of these bars. Tootsie's, Legends, there's so many. Roberts. I've played every one of them, you know.
Still on down here right now. I don't want to get you all jumping around this early in the morning, but what is it like for you to get out here and connect with the fans? Because, I mean, these are the true fans of country music.
Definitely are. You know, we travel the U.S., you know, every year constantly, and, you know, we see them out there, and we always sign autographs out there, too. But, you know, it's kind of cool to get to see them all in the same place instead of, like, here and there and there, you know, so it's really cool.
And we got all the fans up here in Rippey's, too, are pretty excited. And I got to ask you a question, and this is really true, because you're a bachelor, and the ladies love you. And it says here you love to cook. Get this, he loves to cook. And his goal is to build a log cabin for his grandmother. Is that really true?
Yeah, it is true. I mean, it's been my goal it's been a goal for a long time, you know, because she's, you know, still living in the same trailer she always has. And it's kind of where I grew up, and I just always wanted to take care of them in that kind of way. So.
I appreciate it, Billy. Thanks for stopping by. Real quickly, one last look at the weather, and it's going to be stormy in the Northeast once again, flooding in New England. Expect strong thunderstorms through the Carolinas, hail and gusty winds. That's a brief look at the national forecast. Here's what's happening near you.
Good morning, everyone. We're looking at a cloudy morning here in the northwest. The marine layer is very thick this morning, and the onshore flow strong, so we probably won't see much clearing this afternoon. Tomorrow morning, we'll start off with the marine layer once again. Some drizzle is possible, but then the weekend ahead is looking very nice with temperatures in the 70s.
And this portion of weather brought to you by Essentia Contour. Billy, thanks a lot for stopping by. We appreciate it. I'll let you try to fight through that crowd. Sarah Evans coming up in a little bit. Robin?
All right, Mike, virtually all mothers warn their daughters to stay away from that, proverbial bad boy. But as an article in the new issue of Cosmopolitan magazine points out, many women do not follow this advice, often because they aren't able to tell which bad boys are harmless and which are a real danger. We all love a good bad boy.
Bad boys are always attracted to women because it's the unobtainable thing. Women always think they can tame them when they really can't.
Ever since you're little, your mom tells you to not date those guys, the pierced tattoos, don't play by the rules, do their own thing. It's completely attractive to women.
Once a bad boy, always a bad boy. I don't think they change.
There's the hip and hop Hollywood bad boys of the moment, from Colin Farrell to Kevin Federline. And the quintessential cool bad boys everyone fondly remembers, like the Fonz on Happy Days.
You free tonight?
I'm always free for you.
Good. You can do my homework. I got a feeling someone is touching my bike.
And Brad Pitt as a sly but sexy thief in Thelma and Louise.
Take that cash, you put it in that bag right there, you got an amazing story to tell your friends. If not, you got a tag on your toe. You decide.
We even think we can spot them from a mile away.
Typical qualities of a bad boy, definitely tattoos, shredded jeans, a little bit of a rocker attitude.
Ripped jeans, mohawk hair, or, something just not alternative, I'd say.
But of course, there's a big difference between a celebrity bad boy and a dangerous man in real life. Seemingly charming to everyone, but underneath it all, a different person living a web of lies. Famous cases involve newlywed Scott and Lacey Peterson. Scott now on death row after being convicted for the murder of his pregnant wife and child. Neil Entwistle, the picture-perfect husband in Massachusetts, now charged with the vicious and sudden murders of his wife and infant daughter. The notorious Robert Chambers, known as the Preppy Killer, who went to prison for strangling Jennifer Levin in New York Central Park after meeting in an Upper East Side bar. All men who maintained a guise of normalcy to the outside world while harboring a secret and dangerous life behind closed doors. But how can you tell the good guys from the bad boys? All right, so how can you tell the difference? Joining us now is Dr. Keith Ablow, a psychiatrist who also testifies as an expert witness in cases of violent crimes against women. He's a regular guest on our program and has his own syndicated TV show set for this fall. Good to see you again, Keith.
Good to see you, Robin.
So let's clarify. What are we talking about when we're talking about bad boys right here?
Well, what we're talking about are not just the bad boys who are wearing ripped jeans. We're talking about bad boys who can hurt you badly, right, physically or terribly psychologically.
And you said there are red flags. You begin with number one, he has no friends.
Absolutely. People accumulate connections and friendships if you are relatively normal. You might like to think you're the first person in somebody's life whom he can connect with.
Right.
But you should think, well, why would that be? Because everybody's running the other way. That's why.
And another red flag, you said, and I've heard this a lot with women who've gotten into